welcome to another episode of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. I am Courtney. What's up? I don't know why. Again, I just try out new things every episode and we'll see what sticks. I don't know. I don't know why I tried that. More often than not, I'll try something out and I'm like, ugh, that wasn't so good. But I like to be corny and I like to be cheesy. So, I mean, there's intent there. I'm trying to be a dork and cheesy, but sometimes it's probably a little much. But anyway, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody out there. I hope you guys are starting off the morning or maybe ending the evening well. Maybe you're just sitting down. Maybe you've already gone to work or you've already done all the things you need to do and now you're finally putting your feet up and getting your breath and able to relax. I hope that's the case. Maybe you're just starting off your morning and you've had your coffee or your tea or water, protein shake, whatever it is, and you are gearing up to go to work, take care of family and children or whatever the case may be. Maybe you're retired. But good morning, good afternoon, whatever you guys are doing. I hope that you do it well. I'm a little frustrated today. That's why I'm kind of discombobulated. I'm having one of those days where I don't really know why I'm frustrated. I'm having to actively try to not be annoyed by everything today. And some stuff I legitimately have a reason to be annoyed by, let me tell you. I said boy. Annoyed boy. Annoyed by. I have legitimate reason. And then other stuff I'm just being irritable, It's early. I mean, not super early, but it's still morning. So I need to pull my head out. I have a customer today that I'm going to go walk their dog for an hour, and I'm going to do their nails and brush them out and stuff, and maybe even help them with some things around their house. So I need to get my act together. I need to put on my big girl pants and pull my head out of my derriere. But let me just tell you some things that are making me a little bit annoyed today. People need to learn to put away stuff. Like, I'm all about if you want to borrow something of mine or if you need to use something, great. But take care of it. Return it the way that I, gave it to you. If it was pristine when I gave it to you, return it pristine. If it was working when I gave it to you, bring it back working. And then if you're borrowing it and you go get it, put it back where you found it. This is the part that annoys me the most. I'm not understanding how a person can use something and then not put it away. Like, we all get busy and we all sometimes get distracted. And so we'll set something down and then we're like, oops, I forgot. Like, I get that if you do that occasionally. Like, we all have done it where we get sidetracked and then we set something down and then we forget. Like, understandable, get it, we all do it sometimes. But when people are perpetually just never, ever, ever putting things away, and they're forever borrowing and using, and they see where they got it from. They pulled it out of a cupboard or a drawer or the garage or whatever, then put it back. Because here's the deal. More often than not, it's something that I use a lot. Like scissors, for example, and pens. I use scissors and pens all the time, constantly. And I have this spot that I put the scissors and pens. And there's also a laundry room. In my laundry room, I also have an area where I put scissors because a lot of times if I'm doing something with the dogs, for whatever reason, I end up needing scissors for something. So I also keep scissors in the laundry room as well. And when I use them, I put them right back. That way I never have to search for them. And because I use them so often, boom, they're right there. I don't have to look. But it never fails. Somebody else will borrow the scissors, for example, and then I'll go to use them, and I'll spend forever running around trying to find the scissors, looking all over the place trying to find the scissors. And it's annoying to me at times when I'm on a schedule and I'm, I don't have time. And also, I don't want to spend my time and energy looking for things that I put away. And I know that I put them back. And so it's irritating. It's that I never read it. One of my bosses used to always tell me, there's a book called Who Moved the Cheese or Don't Move the Cheese, something like that. But it kind of talks about this, where it's like, God, if you're going to use my shit, then fucking put it away. Like, it grades on my nerves. It's such a pet peeve of mine. I'll go looking for tools in the yard and I'll put tools away. And then I'll go to use those tools again and I have to spend forever searching around. And more often than not, they get left out in the yard and they'll be left out for a while. So then they get rusted and it makes it where you have to clean them and they don't work as well. And it takes more maintenance and it takes more time and energy to go around searching for them when I just want to get shit done. I want to be efficient. I want to do stuff. I do not want to spend my time running around trying to look for things that I put away and other people should too. I just don't like messy things. And we all get to live how we want to live. If you want to live in a mess, do it. If you are slobby, be slobby. If you're dirty, be dirty. Like I always say, you do you, because no one's perfect. Nobody is perfect and we all have our things, And there are people that can live very disorganized, in like a chaotic, clutter type of home and environment. I can't do it. I already have I've grown up in such chaos in my whole life and such instability that the last thing I want is for my home to be full of chaos and clutter and I just clutter and hoarding situation makes me bananas. It makes my head hurt because it's like disorganized and then I feel out of control. I feel cluttery, which makes my head feel cluttery, and I just don't like it. And so I'm not saying you have to be, sterile environment, museum, where you can take a white glove. I'm not trying to say that. I just am always boggled by people that, like my grandma and one of my aunts were hoarders. And my kids' grandma, their dad's mom, hoarder. I mean, she would keep things that were so expired, food that was so expired. And it wouldn't be in cans, it wouldn't be in packages. It would be food that was just incredibly, incredibly bad. And she wouldn't throw away anything, nothing. And I get it if you come from an era where maybe you came from, you went through the Depression. Maybe you were a child of the Depression and you learned that things are valuable and, waste not, want not, which is awesome. I agree with that because Americans can be incredibly wasteful. The amount of food and shit that we waste is appalling. It's shameful. There are starving people all over. There are people that are foraging for food, that desperately need food, that are starving, quite literally starving. The word literally starving. And here we just waste so much. And it goes to show how really entitled and privileged we are. Regardless of your race, again, I've said this a million times, if you're homeless in the United States, you are privileged. You're privileged because you still have access to fountains to get a drink or to go into, a restaurant or a shelter or whatever to have water. There are shelters. There are food banks. There are people that hand out things all the time. And so even our homeless are privileged. But if if people want to live where I had a customer where I did in-home care. She had stage 3 cancer, but she also was severely ADD. Or ADHD. Crazy ADHD. And it's almost like she was on meth all the time. She wasn't at all, by the way. She was so jazzed up and hyper, but she was crazy smart, but also so shady. I was always like, God, if you would put your powers to good instead of evil, because she would take advantage of everything. And good for her. She was like a survivor. She's such a survivor. But she was a hoarder, not like stage 4 out of 4, but she was like a 3 out of 4. And she would not throw away receipts from 10, 15 years ago. And I'm like, you're not going to need these receipts from 15 years ago. And she would just need them and stuff like that. And then she would have like a desk with like a pile of something here and a pile of something there. And there would just be piles of things. But I'll be damned if she didn't know what was in every pile. She would know. I would ask her, I'd be like, do you even know what this is? Oh, yeah, and that pile it's this, and that pile it's that. And I know I've heard that genius people that are geniuses, tend to be chaotic and cluttery and disorganized. I've heard that Einstein was very clutterly? I like it. I'll make up that word, clutterly. I mean, everybody makes up words nowadays. People just make up what racism means and make up what transphobia and fascist means and Nazi means. So I can say cluttery. Maybe that already is a word. I'm too stupid. I'm pretty ignorant when it comes to grammar and English, let me tell you, and spelling. I graduated from America, from an American high school, from public America education. So, I'm not the most intelligent when it comes to grammar. So, I'm going to admit it. See, why can't people just say, look, I'm ignorant on the topic, so I'm not going to look like a dumbass and try to pretend that I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't want to pretend like I know what I'm talking about when I don't, and then have people point it out and prove me wrong. I don't need facts staring me in the face and having people be like, look, bam, you're an idiot. I'll be like, dang. I prefer not to be an idiot in public. Again, I've said this 100 times on a lot of episodes, but people seem to just be absolutely comfortable with being an idiot in public. And again, hey, if you're proud of it and you want to do that, you want to look unintelligent and you want to look ignorant and racist and just like a shitty person for all of the world to witness, do it. I'm going to shut my garage and I'm not going to stop the thing. So hang on, guys. Yeah. So if you want to look like a dumb shit and be proven wrong in public, and then you want to keep that because, again, internet's forever. No matter how much you delete a video, it's never gone. So do it. I don't like to do that. I've done it. I've looked like an idiot, and I don't want to look like an idiot again. I prefer not to revisit that. But again, if you live in a mess, live in a mess. I'm more Monica on Friends. That's how I like my house. I like things where you could, eat off my toilet if need be. Now that I'm living out like in country and I have, I have a lot of animals and stuff. I'm not as obsessive. I can't be Monica on Friends. I just can't because there's a ton of dust no matter what I do. There's hair no matter what I do. I used to sweep once in the morning and once in the evening, and Swiffer in the morning and the evening, dust every single morning, all of that. And then I got to the point where I was like, this is exhausting. So now I sweep once, and I dust like every other day, or sometimes, like twice a week. I'd say more like twice a week. And I've had to back off on some things because I don't have the time or energy, number one. And plus I never have anyone over. I don't really want company and I don't have company. But you just can't. I'm focusing on the property right now. I'm trying to get the property purdy. I got some jasmine and some honeysuckle and a plum calla lily, some plum calla lilies, and my porch is going to be smelling good. I'm wrapping the jasmine and the honeysuckle through the slats of the railings, and then I'm going to eventually frame, the outside of the porch where it looks very magical and fairy-like. And I got some pampas grass because I'm going to use that as privacy, as a privacy border. So I'm pretty freaking stoked. So I'm working on the outside and kind of dialing it down. I mean, I keep it up on the inside. I keep it clean and stuff. I just am not going to be really Monica on Friends anymore because you can't. Same with my truck and my car. God, I used to want to clean it and clean it and clean it. But again, I live on partly gravel road and the dust kicks up and there's nothing you can do about it. It's just always going to be dusty because it's partially gravel. So what are you going to do? Plus, I like to go on country drives. So there's only so much you can do. And it's funny how the older you get and the more the periods of time that you go through in your life, how you evolve. At least I hope. I hope you grow. I hope you learn. I hope you evolve. I'm not saying you have to completely change as a person, but I started out as a Democrat, as I think a lot of people do when you're younger. And then some of us continue to be a Democrat, and some of us wake up and go, wow, Democrats do not benefit me at all, and they do not hold my interest at heart at all. And so they don't have my best interest at heart. And so you look into stuff, you research things, and you research religion more. And you research, and people always say, when you're young, people like to go, well, if I'm a parent, when I'm a parent, I would never do this or that. When I become a parent, I'm not going to do that. And then we become parents, and more often than not, we rethink and we revisit what we used to say, and we go, oh, I was a dumb shit. I had no idea what I was talking about. And then other times, maybe you very much know what you're talking about, and you stick to it. But I think a lot of us change and evolve and grow with the time. And I think religion, in a way, should do the same thing. I think we all need to hold the same principles. Like, we should all, at our core, be good people. We shouldn't murder. We shouldn't cheat. We shouldn't bully. We shouldn't lie. We shouldn't steal. We should help each other. We should be respectful. We should have manners. We should work hard. There's things I think we should have, we should follow through with what we say. We should be held accountable. I think those things should always remain the same no matter how old you are, no matter what stage of life you're in. But some of us change our sexual preference, not change it, but maybe we realize it. Maybe we're like, oh, I think I might be gay, or I might be bisexual, or, maybe you're like, no, I'm straight. Maybe we find religion. Maybe we realize what type of job we really want. Maybe we thought we wanted one career path. We got into that career path, or maybe we got into that career path because we had to, because we're younger and we maybe didn't have as many options available until we gained more knowledge and experience. And that's what it's about, right? Gaining knowledge and experience. Obviously, the more life you live, I would hope and pray you would gain more knowledge and experience. And nowadays it seems like a lot of people are gaining knowledge, but it's, it's knowledge, but it may not be accurate. I would hope that we would learn to be more patient or accepting and give grace. And some of us do. Some of us grow up, and some of us just stay the same. We're stagnant. We don't really change or learn or grow at all. We're, those people that are still living their glory days. They talk about high school all the time. We see shows and movies of people that are, in their 40s, and they're still just cannot let go of the past, and all they do is talk about, they live in the same town, which is great. Not knocking living in the same town. I mean, I get that. But they're still living in the same town and working in the same spot, and just never really wanted to move on because they were maybe scared to death that what if I was at my greatest in high school and it's not going to get any better? Maybe they're petrified that they're just not going to be as popular or as successful or as, whatever it is. Or maybe they just don't really want a whole lot for themselves. They're perfectly content living where they're living and doing what they're doing and making the amount of money that they do. And that's okay. Again, I'm not knocking people's choices. The things I have a problem with is people bitching about the choices they make. Again, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me 2 and 5 and 8 times, well, fuck me, right? Like, we have to at some point accept that maybe we're the ones not quite learning things and getting it correct. Maybe we need to sit back for a minute and go, what's the common denominator? The common denominator seems to be me. And what is it I'm not getting? I feel like we all have that aha moment at some point in our life. I mean, maybe it takes a lot longer for some. I've had my aha moments and at different stages of my life. And right now, I'm just like, fuck, why do Why do I accept things the way they are sometimes? I'm such a fighter for everyone else. I hate bullies. I cannot stand bullies. I can't stand force. And I will absolutely go to bat for people that are being bullied. I will stand up to bullies and protect others. I'm such a mother hen and I get pissy, but God forbid I have any dignity for myself, any respect for myself. God forbid I do something that's actually going to be mentally and physically good for me and make me happy. And that's my fault. And it's a psychological thing. It's a huge mental thing. And I'm not using that as an excuse. I'm not using my background and why I do these things. I have reasons. I certainly have reasons why I allow why I allow others to trample. I allow some people. I allow the people that I love and care about. Those are the people I allow to completely disrespect me and treat me like shit. Strangers, however, fuck no. I will come at you. If I feel backed in a corner, if I feel you're backing me into a corner and I've warned you, I've growled. If I've growled at you and I've given you, I've got my hackles up and I'm giving you all the warning signs and you just don't pay attention, I'm going to come at you and I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to be afraid. I'm going to come at you like the Taurus bull that I am. I do not get scared of people when I'm in that mood. I see red like a bull, I charge. I'm also a tiger in the Chinese zodiac, and I will claw at you and I will attack the shit out of you if I feel that I'm backed in a corner. But God forbid I stand up to my family or my friends I stand up to. It's my family and my partners that I allow to treat me like just garbage until I'm done. I'll do it. I'll allow them to treat me like garbage until I don't. Once I've, again, warned and given chance, I have too many chances, way too many chances, and warned too many times, because that's the thing. You can only someone's going to call your bluff if you just keep, if you're all bark and no bite. If you just keep barking and barking and barking and barking, but you never bite, people are going to go, that's just Courtney again. She's just acting all big and tough, but she's never going to do anything about it. She's never, ever going to do anything about it. And they're right. With my family, I will bark and I'll say stuff, but I don't follow through. Now, if you're a stranger or a friend, I will follow through. I should actually stop saying with friends. With friends, I will say something. It might be a little gentler, might be a little kinder, but I still don't tolerate shit from my friends or from strangers. And I will warn you, once, maybe twice. And if you don't listen, well, then unfortunately, I probably, go a little overboard. I might get a little extreme about it, but I don't hurt people. I don't get violent, by the way. I just want to clear the air. I don't, shank people or anything. I don't punch anybody. I don't spit on anybody. Spitting is gross, by the way. Stop spitting at people. That's so fucking disgusting and also childish and just disrespectful and like, what the hell? Come on. And the hair pulling, I realize hair pulling works. I realize if it works, I guess, especially if someone's got long hair, you got to do what you got to do if you're in like a, where you're defending yourself. But I don't know. It's so weird to me. But spitting, really? Gross. Yeah. Yeah. As much as I don't like Ariana Grande or Jimmy Fallon, I do think Jimmy Fallon's hilarious. But their whole thing that they do when they're like, love it, cracks me up. On Saturday Night, not Saturday Night Live, on Jimmy Fallon. I can't remember what it's called, but anyway, these are some things. Don't move my shit. That's one thing. I need to read that book, Don't Move My Cheese, or Who Moved My Cheese, or whatever. Just don't fucking move my shit, Also, liars. That was the other thing. Pathological liars. I don't know if pathological liars, I've never looked it up. Do they know they're lying? Do they realize they're lying? Or do they literally they can't help themselves so much that they they just lie, and then they start believing their own lies, and they think that their own lies are true. And pretty soon they don't think they're lying at all because they believe the things they're saying. Or do they know they're lying, they're well aware of it, and they just get off on it, and they like to see what they can get away with. They like to see what they can get people to believe, what they can convince people to do and think. It's like a control thing. I know that a lot of politicians do it, and I've been with a partner that has done it. I mean, they would lie for no reason about the dumbest fucking things that there's absolutely no reason to lie about. None. It'll have nothing to do with the relationship or something that I would ever remotely be mad about, and anybody, for it to be something that has nothing to do with me, and just lie about just weird stuff that makes no sense all the time. To the point that you're like, I wouldn't believe that your name is what you told me if I didn't hear other people, like your own family, call you that. Had I not heard your own family call you by your name that you told me, I wouldn't believe you at this point. That's how bad it is with a person that I know. I don't know. It's the lying thing, again, we've all done it, white lies, the whole white lie thing. And we've all, I feel like all of us at one point in our life have maybe, told a big lie. Again, we're not perfect, so we screw up. But if it's pathological, it's like, God, is that a diagnosis where you really can't help yourself? Or are you actively doing it because it's a control thing, a manipulative thing? You just get your rocks off of fucking being psychotically manipulative and getting people to believe really huge lies. The lengths that people will go to. The lengths that people will go to lie. Oh my God, it's mind-boggling. I don't get it. And I also don't understand why people think it's necessary. I don't get why people think that in today's day and age, when we have AI or you have ChatGPT and you can run things through and see if it's AI generated, you can see if pictures are AI generated. You can see if videos are AI generated. You can get on the internet and track down people's criminal records and all kinds of stuff nowadays. And yet people will lie about who they are all the time. The whole catfish thing, God, that pisses me off when people do that. And when people are fraudulent and they try to take advantage of the elderly, really, you're a special kind of psycho. You belong with Fauci. You belong with the people that test on animals. You belong with the people that mutilated their children. You belong with serial killers and pedos. If you prey on the elderly and you lie to them and you try to lie to them so much that you get them to hand over their money that they already don't have, that they worked hard for, and they can finally sit back, oh my God, that makes me mad. Again, I can't stand people being bullied and taken advantage of. That is why people that mooch off the government and take advantage of hardworking people that work their asses off piss me the fuck off. And of course, people that are the ones doing the mooching are like, well, everybody just needs to get over it. Really? Because if the shoe's on the other foot, how about I stay home? How about I sit on my ass? I put my feet up and I get all of the food stamps, and I get all the rental assistance, and I get all the health care, while you work your ass off. Let's trade. And let's do that for many, 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 many years. And let's also have to pay taxes instead of getting taxes back. How about you pay them after you've already got 23% of your taxes, which is what I got taken out, by the way. 23%. They took 23% of my taxes and then turned around and said, you owe $200, which $200 doesn't sound like a lot, but why am I owing any money when I give them 23%? And I'm not a rich person at all. I'm not even middle class. I'm not even middle class. So if you think that sitting back and doing absolutely nothing while everybody else takes care of you is perfectly okay, and you think illegal immigration is perfectly okay, then how about you allow those illegal immigrants into your home, and you work your ass off and you take care of the illegal immigrants and me, and you pay for my health care while you get zero health care, and you pay for my food while you have to pay for food and earn money. And if you don't earn enough money to get food, well, then you don't have food and you go hungry. And if you don't earn enough money to pay for your rent, well, then you're getting evicted and you don't have a place to live. And if you need medical coverage and something happens to you, well, you've got to wait and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait to get into a doctor. So if something's really wrong with you, well, you're fucked. And you have to go to the ER, but you're going to pay to go to the ER. Remember, the ER is expensive. The ER is, 5 times more expensive, and you have to pay for it out of pocket. So why don't you pay for all the stuff, and the illegal immigrants and and then all the black people that you say deserve reparations, you pay out of pocket. Because again, you don't have to wait for a law to pass that says, okay, I deem it, we're going to force. You guys wait for things to be forced upon you, and it's hilarious to me. You're like, oh, we're being forced to do it? Well, then we're just going to roll over and we're just going to do it. I'm not built that way. Sorry, that's not my nature. I don't give a shit if you're the Pope or Jesus or a cop or whatever. If I think that what you're telling me to do is wrong, I'm not saying that I'm going to fight a cop. I'm not saying that I'm going to be violent, but I'm not just going to roll over and just do what people tell me to do if I'm not told why I'm in trouble or what it is that I need to do, and I'm going to research it and I'm going to see if that's what I want to do, especially if I'm injecting it into my body. I don't understand how it's possibly weird, why people think it's weird or wrong to not just willingly inject shit into your body without seeing what the fuck is in it and what it's going to do in the long run. Why wouldn't you? So it's funny to me because there's certain groups of people that wait for things to be forced before they do it, like reparations. You don't have to wait to give black people money. If you feel that you need to give black people money to right all the wrongs, to make your conscience feel better, so that you can pat yourself on the back and think that you've just done something and you've accomplished something and now you're going to heaven, nothing is stopping you from doing that right now today. Get your ass out there and go hand out. And also, since you think that if you're remotely rich and you have money and you think it's fair that we should all have the same amount of money, well, you know what? Why don't you? There's immigrants over here and there's homeless people that don't have the same amount of money as you. They have less than you. Why aren't you giving your money to the homeless? If you believe that people that have less than should have more, then why aren't you contributing? Where's your money going? You don't have to wait for people to force you to do it. You can willingly choose. There is free will. You're not under duress. You're not under house arrest. I mean, if you are, then, all right. But you actually, even if you're under house arrest, you can send a check. You can, Venmo people. You can Cash App people. I'm just saying, there's still ways. You have credit cards. So that's not even an excuse. Hell, if you're in prison and you have any kind of commissary, you could buy other people in prison. If there's any illegal immigrants in prison or whatever, you can help them too. So really, there's not an excuse. What are you waiting for? Why are you waiting for everybody else to do it? It's so funny. People are really passionate. They're like, I really, really, really want to help illegal immigrants. I think illegal immigrants deserve help. By golly, I want illegal immigrants to have help. Help, help, help. But I'm not going to do it. But I'm not going to help them. I want you to help them. I'm going to throw fits. I'm going to burn. I'm going to destroy. I'm going to protest. I'm going to riot. I'm going to just scream and yell. But I'm not the one that's actually going to do a damn thing about it. I'm just going to bitch and how everybody else needs to do something. I'm going to bitch and moan and complain and whine and throw gigantic fits and make a scene and look like a fucking idiot on social media. But I want everybody else to do something about it. I want all the money. But I want other people to work for it. I want all the grades, all the glory, but I want other people to do it. It's frustrating. I started out frustrated this morning because I'm just like, fucking, no one has consideration at all. Like, put shit away because other people use things. You're not the only fucking human on the planet. When are people going to realize that? Other people exist. Look around. Take a moment right this second. Everybody stop. Let's stop. Okay? Are we all stopped? Turn your head to the right. Turn your head forward. Turn your head to the left. Okay? Let's look all over. Right, left, all over. Look up. Look down. Okay? Even if you're out in the country and you don't see other people, there are other animals, there are things that exist. And just because you don't see physically with your own eyes doesn't mean other people aren't on this planet. Because people love to say that to me in arguments. Well, I have never seen that happen. I've never seen that happen. I've never witnessed that happen. Oh, okay, like I always say, so because you didn't witness it, it means it didn't occur? If you didn't see it with your own eyes, that means it didn't happen because somehow you're Jesus and you see all of the world. You can see all of the people and all of the creatures within it. So if you didn't see it with your eyes or hear it with your own ears or feel it with your own hands, that means it doesn't exist. Other things exist on this planet and we have no consideration. Other people are going to use these things. Other people use scissors and tools and, books or whatever it is, headphones. I don't know, headphones is a bad example, but you know my point. So put it back because other people want to use them too, and other people don't want to waste their time and energy looking for things that they put back, that they did the right thing. Just like other people don't want to pay huge amounts in healthcare because you're obese. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. If you are obese, it is not because of your fucking thyroid. That might be part of it. That might be a contributing thing, but it isn't the reason. If one more goddamn person tells me that they are 600 pounds because of their thyroid, I'm going to fucking bitch slap them. It is not because of your thyroid. It's because of choices that you made way before, or it's because you didn't do all the things that your doctor or nutritionist or a life coach or whatever told you to do. And therefore, your thyroid medication or whatever isn't working. Now, maybe it's very difficult for you to lose weight. Maybe it's a lot harder for you to lose weight. But once you get to a certain point, you don't get to blame 600 pounds or being morbidly obese on your thyroid. You don't, because you allowed it to continue. Now, depression is a big thing. Stress is a big thing. I understand 100% why people become overweight. I understand 1,000% why people become addicts. I understand 1,000% why people snap sometimes and just lose their fucking ever-living mind. I get all of it. There are reasons that people behave the way they do, and there are reasons that people are overweight. But healthcare right now is expensive because, unfortunately, morbidly obese people don't take care of themselves, and so we pay a lot because of heart attacks, because of diabetes. Just like men pay a lot in insurance because it seems that statistics prove, I'm not saying this, just statistically, apparently men are worse drivers and get in more accidents, and so insurance is higher for men. There are reasons that things happen because a group of people had to fuck it all up, and then everybody else pays for it, is my point. So things are expensive, like right now, if you put a price cap, let's say in New York on rent, that is fucking retarded. Because now, if there's a price cap, then what's going to happen is all of these renters, all of these landlords, all of these companies that own these buildings aren't going to be able to afford to keep their building anymore. And everything else is going to go up. Everything else is going to go up, and then these people aren't going to be able to afford their insurance and afford the maintenance and afford their lease or their mortgage or whatever. And then they're going to close shop, and they're going to try to sell their building, which means you're going to be homeless, which means you're going to be kicked out because they're like, you know what, fuck you, I can't make any money. And so now all these people are going to be homeless, and more people are going to do the same thing. They're going to go, well, screw you, we can't even afford this, so we're going to go pack up. We're going to sell this, or we're going to go bankrupt, and we're going to move on to a place that we can actually get an income. And that's not wrong. That's not greedy. People are going to blame, they're going to go, oh my God, the greedy Republicans. Oh my God, those greedy landlords. That's not greedy landlords. They have to be able to make fucking money. Now, I agree. Now, here's the deal. Let's say a landlord wants to try to charge $3,000 for an apartment that everybody knows, and everybody, that fair would be 1,500. So let's say they're charging double. That doesn't mean you have to pay it. What will happen is if he charges, or he or she charges $3,000, double of what fair market is, no one is going to pay it. And then that person will be forced to go, I am not making any money whatsoever. Maybe I should lower the price. So they're either going to lower the price to what people will pay, or they're just never going to make any money and they'll have to close up shop. So I don't think there should be a cap at all, because what will happen is people just won't pay the ridiculous amount that people are asking. It doesn't mean that people have to pay it. Again, this rolling over thing, when people are like, I was told to do it, so here I go. If someone told you to jump off a bridge, would you do it? Some people would. Little lemmings. People really probably would nowadays. I'm very convinced that if someone's like, especially an influencer, if an influencer or a celebrity told some of these kids to jump off a bridge, I feel 100% would do it. I mean, we're eating Tide Pods. Remember the Tide Pod thing? I mean, Jesus Christ, if you're stupid enough to eat fucking Tide Pods because someone told you to do it, we don't, just because someone says, I want $3,000 for this, you don't have to do that. Just like when you go to one furniture store and they want $4,000 for a couch that you just saw at another store for $2,400. Well, you don't have to buy the $4,000 couch. It's a free market. So that means it's up to the consumer to set the prices. And if we didn't all agree to continue to pay obscene amounts of money for things, if all of us collectively went, I'm not going to pay that, fuck you, then companies would be forced to either not make any money at all or lower their prices. So when you put a cap on something that's retarded, and I did say retarded, and I'm okay with it, and the more you have a problem with it, I'm probably going to say it a lot because I'm immature and petty that way. So I'll just keep saying it. So don't even tell me. I don't want to hear that you don't like it. It's fucking retarded. And why people, of course people are going to think that sounds great because they're like, I will never have to ever have to pay a single dime in rent now. It's going to be this much and I'll never have to pay any more. Okay, well, guess what? They also don't have to agree to that. If they're not going to make any money doing that, they can also very easily go, guess what? I'm selling it and you're all homeless now. Good luck finding another place to live. And then the few people that can afford it, the few apartments left that can afford to have a price cap are going to be busy. They're going to be full. There's going to be wait lines. You're going to have to be on a wait list. You see what I mean? Research is good. Consideration for others. Not everybody is a bad guy because they have common sense and they know economics. People aren't a bad guy because they've done their research, because they don't just bend over and take it. They don't just, when someone drops the soap, they don't always take the bait. You know what I'm saying? Learn to, if someone drops the soap, you don't have to bend over. You know what I mean? It's okay to stand up and stay standing and be proud and stand tall and, sometimes say no. It's okay to say no. It's okay to question. It's okay to research. And having consideration for others and realizing that other people want to use tools, other people have their religion, other people want to research what they're going to put in their bodies. Again, knowing that other people exist on this earth is a really good thing. Growing and learning and educating yourself on other topics and other people and how others live is okay, because it's not just about you. All right. I feel like I need to descend off of my high horse. I need to climb off my high horse, get off my soapbox here. I feel like this episode, this conclusion of berating people and being a condescending ass. I don't feel like I'm being condescending. I mean, yes, I had some moments where I was being condescending. I'll admit it. But I'm frustrated. I told you, I'm frustrated today. Things are just really rubbing me the wrong way. I just kind of woke up on the wrong side. Well, that's the problem. I actually haven't been to sleep yet, you guys. That's a true statement. I haven't even been to sleep. So that's probably why I'm a little frustrated today. But I've already achieved a lot. I want it noted. I've already, because I haven't slept, I feel like I'm all cracked out and I've accomplished a lot this morning. Anyway, all right, that's all the babbling and the nonsense and the ranting that I have for today. I hope you guys are having a better day. I hope you are not frustrated at all. I hope you're fucking fabulous. I hope you are feeling good. I hope you have energy. I hope you have a positive outlook. Don't let my podcast bring you down. You do you. Go out there and be like, heck yeah. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Remember to control what you can, let go of all the rest. Remember to take a deep breath in and let all of the nonsense, all the baloney, all the malarkey wash away. Just let it go. You know? Thank you so much. Until next time.